And welcome to our Terra Sentia series. Welcome back. We are excited to get on with our Kashar Forest shenanigans. There's shenanigans.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. I think you picked up a shenanigan.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. I deserve that.
I'm real scarred from last time.
I loogied a shenanigan and then stepped on it, so...
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Mine's still in my throat, I guess?
Yeah.
I thought you made that saving throw.
Yeah,
but I didn't loogie it out, so is it just in there?
That was just, I think that was Connor's little...
That was flavor. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
stomach
fair.
there.
So,
You're like...
I'm going to digest this.
Yeah, I just swallowed
So
it.
we will introduce our guest tonight in a second. I would like to talk about one of Infinity Break's games that they have going on. Infinity Break is a local Dungeons & Dragons and other role-playing game podcast in Portland, Oregon. And they are running a lot of games, one of which is called The Cursed Seas. Ahoy, and avast, mateys and bilge rats. I'd like to tell you about The Cursed Seas, Pathfinder adventure on the open ocean from Infinity Break. Not 20 years ago, the dread pirate Blackbeard tore through the 7 seas and the American colonies, hoarding treasure and murdering all who stood in his way. But one day, when there were no more coasts left to conquer, he disappeared and took his gold with him. I don't know what that word is. It's just a matter of time. I think it's just it. It's just a matter of time until somebody digs it up. Bethany plays Fiendish Finn McBludgeon. That's great. A strapping fisherwoman from parts unknown. Laura plays Arcanist Luna Shepherd, searching for her family of pirates and witches. And Jacob plays Seamus Kincaid, an amnesiac and undead pirate captain who somehow came into the possession of Blackbeard's journal. Join the 3 members of this ragtag crew and Dungeon Master Ben Hamlin as they explore the open water for treasure and fortune. That is, if the cursed seeds don't claim them first. Cursed Seas release every other Saturday on Infinity Break, and you can also get it in podcast form wherever you get your podcasts. So, friends of the show, they're good folks. I'd like to introduce our very special guest, Daniel Eshoo. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely a pleasure.
And I forgot to hand you something. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh.
Actually, Connor, you see those that
Ceremonial
6x4 cue card right there?
This
Just
one.
hand that to Daniel, both of them.
Oh, nice. I might need that.
Yeah.
You definitely might need that.
Well, on that note, we have cue cards to cue.
Oh, right. Yeah. We're
Just hand them out randomly.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Got it. Get it.
Throw one.
I just went to a real weird place.
Brilliant.
Okay, that's me, so.
Well,
Good job.
then randomly from the remainders.
Woo! I got
Ooh,
it.
nice cut.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah?
Yeah. These are things
Cool.
we can use to compel each other to do things, like in character, and then you can win inspiration points if you decide to do them. Or you can spend an inspiration point and be like, nah, I'm not fucking doing that.
Be cool. Do it.
We usually do it.
Why are you not friends to all living things again?
Rip.
Bill said it was really similar to one of my other ones.
Okay.
Like it was basically like an aspect of an aspect.
Okay.
Yeah,
If that makes any sense.
You could pretty much grab
No more.
one theme from another theme, and so.
But that leaves me open to make a 4th one at some point down the future. So
Got
if
it.
anyone thinks of Keth gaining an aspect, let me know.
Oh, we'll do terrible things to you, and you'll just gain an aspect.
Precisely.
Anybody excited about anything in their life right now? What they want to share?
D&D night. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Right now, I feel you. It's been a weird week for me too. And Daniel, tell the world what you do and how you do it.
Well,
Well, he does it well.
I'm an electrician. I risk life and limb every day to install solar panels and further the cause of green energy and
Nice.
clean power and stuff like that.
You can get along well in the Kashar Forest.
I know it's not probably, it's not exactly probably your title, but it's like it's like sort of a related, but it's National Lineman Day.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So like, thank you for your electric services.
Contributing to the grid. Thank you.
True.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the day job. Lots of other interests, among those, of course. role playing.
Yeah.
I do live hardcore, and so I need to balance that with, the fantasy world.
Live hardcore.
Yes.
I do life hardcore.
Oh, life
Fiction hardcore.
Life.
But a different kind of hardcore.
They said live hardcore.
Oh yeah,
You don't
I put on shows, live hardcore shows.
Yes, I live. I live so hard.
They actually call me the lineman. So
I'm here to fix your electricity.
It takes like 1 or 2 near-death experiences to just
what-
let go of everything.
What happens next? He fixes the cable.
Not a random hando. Which is where I went with that.
yeah.
Short PSA, I'm going to be taking photos of you guys because I'm supposed to post some from our playing on Thursdays on Instagram, and I keep forgetting. So don't be weirded out if I take photos of you during the game.
As long as you do it like this, where you're just like,
I just did that to Bill right now. I was literally just
you got to disappear under the table,
and then just my phone.
and then somewhere in the room, just like,
It's like the Pokemon click game from Nintendo 64.
I didn't play that one.
Oh, it was so much fun because you were just on this car and just taking photos.
That's amazing.
I miss the Amazon train game. Do you remember that back in the day? That was grade school. You got to go to the Okay, maybe everybody won't remember this, but you had to go to the library to use the internets. But Amazon Trail was a real fun. It was Oregon Trail kind of thing, but it was all you were on the Amazon River like a biologist, and you had to get to the end point, but you got off the boat all the time, and you had to collect photos of an ocelot and different. So you learned about the animals and the plants and getting off at different points. It was super fun.
Yeah.
That's
And number munchers. Yeah.
Number 1.
So I want to thank. So we've been doing some Instagram giveaways, and the first Instagram giveaway was to DM Billy Shane. He won one of the hero books that Connor. You want to hold up your hero book?
Oh,
So he won a forest green version of that.
Nice.
The Ranger version. And then the next giveaway for 600, which, by the way, thank you everyone on Instagram for paying attention and following us. But Connor, who, just held up that bag, he made this dice bag, this awesome dice bag, which is based off the snow root, correct?
yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the snow root.
Snow root grows in the mountains only when it's snowing, funny enough, because it's really shallowly rooted, so it needs the snow to actually support most of the root. And then because it grows in the snow, it has to produce huge amounts of glucose to not freeze. So dwarves, dwarves will boil the leaves down into a syrup, and then the root
ferment
pulp.
it.
Oh yeah. I didn't even go there.
Yeah, sugar.
You got to.
Mountain rums, basically.
Yeah. And then the root is kind of
Snow
pulpy
root rum.
still, and so it gets deep fried a lot as a dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And then now mountain rum.
Yeah, mountain rum. We're
Mountain
definitely to
rum.
keep you warm.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm super into that.
Yeah. I love collaboration. Hey, since those hero books have a D20 on the front, can we go ahead and augment it when we send it out to add a 1 on the front? Critical miss.
That could work.
I'm just
That
saying.
could work. Yeah.
It's just damn it.
But the person who won this contest is and this isn't his real name, but I'm just going to use his Instagram handle, Aduran Revilo. And weirdly enough, this kid, we did the random drawing. So I don't know him personally, but Jill, my partner, is friends with his mother. Because when she goes to Arizona, they go to the gem show, and I guess they're friends, and they kind of get together.
That's some
surrounding-
weird small world shit.
It really is, yeah. It
That's
really is.
awesome.
And
Also,
so,
how old is this person who's watching our podcast?
He's it's 17, 18, I think.
Awesome, you're cool.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, I'm going to drop that bombs nonstop.
Well, it's.
We've got a lot of teenage
I think
parents
not only
following us
does
at
he
this
know what
point.
he's getting, because he's also an avid role player too, so he's pretty stoked about
I
this.
love you, Fisher.
Teenager in the box in the corner behind the wall.
Sometimes I think, if you're nerdy enough, you earn it. If you're going to listen to podcasts about D&D and swearing happens,
Yeah.
Also, if you're a teenager and you've never heard swearing before, where the fuck do you live? It's true. I'm not trying to be crass, but seriously.
Also, if this is as bad as it gets and this is the outlet, That's a
Good
pretty
for you.
safe outlet.
You know, I bet we have a lot of Amish listeners. So
Yeah, so
You
many.
never know. Throw in Rumspringa.
that's true. Then fuck yeah, let's do this.
Give me 2 seconds.
You're gone.
And also, I'm pretty sure that iPods are kosher.
I told
I don't think
everybody
that's a term
this
for that, but
It's not the proper.
but I'm trying really hard not to
term.
fiddle with my dice tray.
iPods are allowed
We gotta
within
keep them
the.
like warmed up, make sure the
Community,
choo-choo is
I think
like
so.
Right.
all ever present.
Seems really.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally know nothing about it. So
Yeah.
What?
Apparently it's really
iPods
bad for
being
my
allowed
mic,
in
so I'm
the
trying to be
Amish
like,
community.
I'm not going to fiddle with these. I love
Don't
your dice,
quote me
by
on
the way.
this.
Can I
I'll
have
have to
one of
Google
them?
it.
I know
or
I'm not
you
supposed
can
to
Google
exclusively
it.
listen to Weird Al.
As comfortable as you two's bookends are,
It's like
if you could
satisfying.
move in as much as possible, but I leave it to your comfort level.
Splash.
You're comfortable
So let's
with.
get into the recap. I'm stoked about where we left off.
Well, the thing is dead.
Okay, so
Is it?
after a close call with
I mean,
the
we beat it and burned it with fire.
So after a close call with a lone appendage of the Quarterkraken, moving on and finding one of the 3 existing orc towns took priority. Along the way, Farron finds a patch of fairly common eating mushrooms in the Cantharella genus called the chanterelles. Everyone eventually eats some, but only Ren has a mystical, if not trying experience, reporting that he actually spoke to the Cantharella tribe, where they spoke of, quote, pressure from both sides and how, quote, the spiral must be a disc. Despite their beat-down and tired affect, Ren comes out of the experience energized and incredibly curious with what happened. So then eventually you made it to one of the orc towns, and expecting it to be populated, Keth knew it was kind of a crapshoot. Like you didn't know if it was going to be populated or not. It
True.
was in fact empty, finding many abandoned yet significant locations with which to explore. Berg began to organize their archive. Time sought insight within the vision yurt, now realizing that she should not that she could not sense her brother anymore, her brother Lord, since crashing into the Kashar. And the others gathered mushrooms and started to cook, when all of a sudden an assault of mind and body hit everyone in their respective locations, with only Time succumbing, retching up a fungal growth that immediately attempted to devour her. Between Time's magic and Farron's ensnaring strike with your bow strike, the creature was dispatched like a popped boil. You all left the scratchy, warbly. I'm sorry. You're all left with the scratchy, warbly voice pushing into your minds. Let them in. Let them in.
Voice of a boil.
Ask politely.
And
It's got Boyle-esque features.
and it is there that we begin. As I would say that a good number of you are probably a little worn out from that fight and maybe a little bit rattled.
I literally got there as the thing popped, so
Yeah.
I'm still occasionally like
I think so to kind of
firebolt. Firebolt.
The standard
Fireball.
time. It's glass now. It's okay. I can break the glass.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Ferg breaks the glass.
And then I bury the glass because I don't think we should leave glass in the middle of the village.
Aww.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? I'm sorry. Did you say you broke up the glass?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I asked Time if they wanted me to, and she
Barbarian
said yes.
smash.
Firebolt.
Yeah.
What is it again? What's the
Monk
glass?
buried.
Oh, I just kept hitting it with fireballs. So we presumed that if we,
Oh, right.
some of the
Becomes
sand
glass.
turns gas.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Cast gust and just away on the wind.
For that.
And it is
And I
now.
feel better.
It is now eerily quiet. There's really, aside from your Lumia runs up to you. Are you okay? And you can see Lucy kind of in the background, sort of heading up the rear. You don't see any of the other folks, nor do you see Burgess.
Just do that at this point.
Yeah.
We're more in the
Where's-
open now and
where's
it's
Kelly?
daylight.
Kelly.
I mean, we left. I don't know. Where is Kelly?
They were all at the cook pot and I left.
Okay, you
I
left
left
every.
them.
Yeah.
And I told them to wait there and I'd be right back because we heard screaming.
We need
Finally.
Yeah.
to. Lumia's job was to stir.
She was stirring.
but not if she's checking on.
Well, then I told her she's in charge too, so maybe she told
You
someone else to
left.
start.
I put it in Kelly's hands. Kelly's doing it.
Okay.
Sparky.
She burns my soup, guys.
I'm doing my job, kinda. It's just, like I'm just delegating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm delegating.
Time kind of just casually like stands next to you.
Me? Like Farron?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like,
Are your wings still out?
No. What wings?
You flew down from the mountain.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I wasn't asking in character. That was OOC.
no, in character, that's also happening. No, I don't know what you're talking about. As they're slowly folding up.
So, if you, Daniel, if you can see one of Theron's aspects has something to do with their wings.
Oh.
He doesn't talk
Yes.
about his wings. So if people bring up his wings, like, you can basically make him do whatever you want about it, kind of, if he's down.
We
Or
also
were you guys saying
don't
something?
talk about them.
We don't talk
I
about
have a
that.
really hard time.
Blacked out there for a minute. What?
So I'm
Who
gonna go
am I?
around. I'm gonna go around the table real quick. As 10 minutes pass, you all feel, a little bit more solid. Like nothing else feels like it's coming up through your gut in a weird fashion. And you would essentially feel safe enough. What are you doing, Farron?
Well, I'm basically like, oh, that was crazy. Are you okay? The time.
Better now. That was bad.
They're like, okay, I'm glad you're okay.
I ate some bad mushrooms.
But did you hear the voices?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah. Was it saying to
Did you guys hear the
get inside
voices?
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all heard it that time. That's what I was hearing.
Let them in.
That's what I was hearing back in the
Creepy,
Chantrell.
Weird voices.
Yeah.
I thought you said the Chantrell voices were nice.
Clearly,
They
they're
were,
seeking
but-
us out for something. What do they want from us?
I don't know, but that was the same voice. They had different things to say before, but now it's.
Do they
that's.
speak
I'm
with-
so glad you guys are hearing it too.
Are there many that speak with the same voice? Perhaps.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not like that, man. It's like, you can hear different voices, but it's the same voice, but it's kind of like
It's like the cluster in Steven Universe.
To be fair, none of you have experienced what Farron is describing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still don't.
Mhm.
At the as we're talking about this, I'm gonna pull out the bottle of whiskey that I looted and pour everybody some. It's like, what the fuck?
Do we have cups laying around? We don't just pass the bottle.
Well, yeah, I guess we could just pass the bottle. Well, Keth would pull out cups that he has. He has a whole cook set.
Make a quick perception check.
Oh wow, I never roll good perception things. 19.
Okay. A hand comes out to grab a cup, and you're just sort of pouring and handing, reflexively just going and going and going, and then you go and you hand. You're like, whoa! You almost handed it to Sparky.
Nice try, kid.
I delegated.
No.
We don't need the firecracker that doesn't know how to control her magic on drinking whiskey over here.
Please God.
That's probably not a good idea.
You know she's going to get into somebody's mushrooms at some point, and then it's going to be interesting.
Farron reflexively checks his pockets.
Yeah, we're good. And Sparky actually walks away, kind of talking to herself. You get a sense of who she's talking to.
Yeah.
And then in the distance she kind of sits down on a log, and there's Burgess, and so they're actually spending some one-on-one time together. Just kind of
I'm safe.
talking.
The vampire and the kid.
The vampire and the kids.
Hey, the bard and the
kinda
sorcerer.
Fine.
We'll let the right one in style.
Bards make great
you should
babysitters.
watch the original movie, by the way.
I have.
Facts.
That's the only one I have watched. I didn't watch the American.
The
one.
Swedish one.
Yeah.
Farron
yeah,
keeps
the
kind of
Swedish
an eye
one.
on that
Yeah.
situation a little bit.
What? Out of curiosity, what episode are you up to?
Ooh. I finished 3.
Doesn't tell me anything. What did we do in 3?
What are we doing?
Did we crash? Were we in the airship?
So 3 was the no.
We haven't gone to the
there.
airship yet.
Wow.
Haven't gotten there.
All of this is new to you.
3 was when we fought the
Bad
creepy
things
faced
happened. We found a
focus
vampire.
things
Here we are.
by the campfire.
Cool.
Yeah, the one was waylaid, and then Cybin Hunt was the third one. I guess.
Yeah, that's when we
nice.
like got to
Getting the
Jawbone
Cyber Hunt.
Flats.
So cool. Well,
4 is
you were fast
bear
forwarding a
traps.
lot of stuff then.
Oh, great.
Cool. Good
And
times.
that's not what it's called, but that's what it is.
Goddamn
I
That's
can
what
tell you
4
have,
is.
like new party members and
Some NPCs and some
NPCs,
things.
Yeah, we like to save people.
Let's just say that the party, however it happened, and maybe you can find this out during game in a variety of ways. They're now in the Kashar Forest, and as far as they know, everybody in the party but Kef is stuck in the forest and not be out.
We were over here in Jawbone
Kev is
Flats,
stuck with the rest of the party, I'm sure.
Yeah.
and then we were.
I'm out.
Then now we're
Yeah.
here in this little village. We were over here, and now we're here.
Roundabout way.
Yeah, airship. You'll get there.
Yeah, I'm just getting coffee.
It crashed. Wasn't
getting
entirely our
myself-
fault.
Ooh, ouch.
I
It
think
was a bad
that
crash.
Strassman fucked
It was bad.
Still gotta get that Strassman.
Oh, that's Strassman, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
That's
haven't-
sweet Strassman.
Baron's very
Gotta
one
get back to
track
that.
in
I
it.
still want to try the spice. So you're still cooking, or you're finishing up cooking, right?
I'm gonna go back and finish the soup after we chatted about this and pass the whiskey around.
Yeah.
Kelly's like, oh, thank the heavens! I didn't know what else to do. It's getting
taste it.
crispy on the bottom.
Did she add salt?
I just stirred. I just
Good.
said what Lumia said to do. I just stirred.
Time hears you mention salt, and Sheila comes over. She's like, "Can I have some salt?"
I give you salt.
So time takes that, and she kind of like
Don't put it in my soup.
Goes over to the puts it in the soup. Goes over to like the fire and kind of like leans down and grabs a little bit of like charcoal that's off to the side and kind of like mixes it with the salt and then just goes thanks and then walks off for a little bit. So she takes some time to kind of like she's not at all going very far away from the group. She's basically staying really close to Rem. She kind of like goes through like a little 10-minute ritual and cast comprehend languages. She's like, just in case something tries to talk to us again.
Cool.
You know, when time walks away, you're cooking. You know, she kind of goes that way, and right behind her is this tiny little package.
No. What?
What kind of package?
It's good that you asked. So
That response, I'm sorry.
so it looks to be a kind of a bundle.
We ignore it.
Okay.
That's been wrapped up in a thick and elongated leaf,
Okay.
and it's it's tied with twine.
And it's like attached to the back of her, or it's
No.
It's just behind her.
It was on the ground behind Time, and the moment Time moved, you were like, you saw it, where you didn't see it before. Time's feet were in the way.
I pick it up.
How big is it?
The ticking.
I already picked it up.
Handheld.
It's about.
I'm about to freaking
Let's
body
see. I'm
myself,
trying
aren't I?
to look for.
I open
Oh,
it.
so it's about.
I shake it really hard.
Whatever it is, I eat it.
In my mouth.
It's about half the size of this.
Okay.
Whatever that is, what is that? I
It's a
really
butt
like it.
cat.
I like it very much.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like a little beanbag.
I like your butt pad.
Scott, the GM of our Saturday game, he hates this thing.
Scott has issues.
Nah, I think it's comfy, but whatever.
You heard me.
Yeah. It is just you didn't.
It's just
see it
wrapped in
before.
leaves.
Yeah, it's wrapped in.
Can I make
wrapped
like an
in leaves.
insight check to see if I know like where it could have come from or
You
anything
don't
like that?
necessarily have to. This looks like someone left this here for you, and it looks like an orcish care package.
But it wasn't there before.
Definitely not.
Airdrop.
I open it.
Bees.
You open it, and there are a whole smorgasbord of foods, rations.
Cheese board.
There's a couple of sort of like salt rocks for like flavoring food.
I'm really stoked.
There are a lot of like different layers of kuta in a couple of different thicknesses. And there is and I don't know what else would be in a care package. I can only say no.
bandages.
Yeah,
Like medical
there's
stuff?
first aid,
Some herbs, some other things.
supplies.
Or,
There's herbs, that kind of thing. Pretty much like, wow.
A few
Healing
devil's
potions?
fingers.
Someone,
Or devil's fingers?
Someone knows you're here.
Do I have any idea, like, after I open it, who, like, what tribe the care package could have been from?
It is not marked.
is there a letter from mom?
My mom died
Go-
before I left.
Go ahead and
Does
make.
that have to be biological?
Okay.
Go ahead and make a. What would that be? Just
Like a history check or, like, an insight?
an intelligence check with proficiency. So
Whew. Okay, well, it's +2 to nothing. What did I roll?
11.
13, Bill.
you don't know what tribe this is.
Can you fling that back?
Working on it.
Is there any marking on it that Ferg would maybe recognize from readings?
There's no marks on it whatsoever. You could make the same check. You will not be at proficiency, and you will be at. No, I'll allow a history. I will allow history, but you will be at a disadvantage because this is a very, very obscure thing.
Like maybe how the food was arranged or it was tied.
Oh yeah,
Something.
I'd say knots.
I got
for
you.
sure.
9. So
No, and nine, no,
Yeah.
as in no. Yeah. So, but regardless of who it's from, it really has your best interests at heart.
Can I, like, do, like, a survival check to see if I can find out which way they went? Or, like,
Look for tracks.
yeah, like, you know, try to, like, track whoever it was? Like,
What is
because
your
I'm worried, basically what I'm thinking as Keth, I'm worried that they're, like, afraid to come approach us because it's a group of, like, outsiders, and I know that my people wouldn't just come in to, like, these people that they don't know, right? Especially, like, a bunch of humans, like, we don't have that great of a rapport with them, so...
So do me a favor and tell me your survival check. I'm going to roll it secretly. Connor.
Secret survival.
Yeah.
I got a +3 to survival.
So you look around for tracks,
counting
and
ones,
either you can't find them or they cover them up very, very well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or there is just nothing to find, really.
Keep track.
I'm assuming the 2 ladies from the airship are as well.
Okay, well, I'm basically gonna, when the soup's done, I want to, like, serve everybody, but I want to, like, wrap up, like, some of it and, like, leave it, like, on the edge of the forest for, like as, like, a gift back, like.
So
Do you have any
you
particular
can
rituals around
can do this, but your thoughts is that whoever left this for you
Is, like, gone.
probably fine.
Oh, I'm just
in
doing it
terms
as, like, not, like, to feed them, like, I'm worried that they're, like, just, like, as, like, a thank you, like, you fed,
Right.
like, you gave us, like, I want to, I don't know.
Okay,
So, yeah.
fair. Yeah.
It's more like a love thing than, like, a necessity thing. Also, I want them to think that we're friends back. Like, I don't know.
How about I'm just throwing this out there? So imagining like, you know, we're in the forest, like there's like, you know, our bowls and things are probably like leaves and whatnot. Like we can probably like, you know, some or some mushrooms or whatnot that
Yeah.
are like more bowl shaped, something along those lines.
Something
caps, dried caps.
non-toxic and like
Yeah, non-toxic and biodegradable
eat that
and
afterwards, too.
whatnot.
Petrified one.
I would say definitely Farron could easily like whip up something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of want to envision this like a ritual kind of around this, like for your people, right? And in some way of like appreciating and showing like, you know, that we acknowledged your gift and really appreciated it and thoroughly enjoyed it. Kind of like Japanese culture where like slurping and burping is actually like, you know, a sign of like I really enjoyed the meal. So it's almost like leaving the dirty dishes, which are biodegradable, like out at the edge, being like, look at how much like, you know, everything's scraped clean. We really enjoyed this, like out towards the edge or some version of that. But like that was the first thing that came to mind.
That could be
Sounds
cool.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because then it goes back to the forest.
What about work culture? What does our work culture have to say about that?
What do you think?
I'm cool with that. Yeah. I'm down to do that.
Yeah. Perfect.
You belch real loud and just throw your plates to the forest. Classier than that.
So after you're done eating, where and what are you? Where are you going and what do you do?
Well,
Excellent question.
what do you guys think?
Well, we found out last time, or I guess once like time has finished her ritual and is hanging out and we're like kind of consuming the soup and whatnot, she relates to you what she remembers from her vision before the bad thing, and like connects it back to Ren's like, you know, vision and whatnot. Like, you know, maybe there's some connection there. I don't know. But like we can't, like we won't be allowed to even to leave the forest until we deal with this. We have to get to the heart.
We have to find. Well, they called themselves something, didn't they? Not a tribe.
Cantarell.
They're the Cantarelli tribe. Or
The tribe, the Cantarelli tribe.
Cantharella.
Cantharella tribe. So what if we figure out
Cantarelli family.
Right, yeah.
Where-
Do them a favor.
well, like, what if the heart is wherever like they're based from? What if they're in danger at their heart, whatever this Chantarelli tribe is? Maybe we need to find them. So, I guess the biggest question is who can we ask or how can we find?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think your people are probably the best.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Can we find your people?
I basically want to go like pull out a map of Kashar that's kind of like orcish in nature, so it shows like where the different stuff is and kind of show everybody like these are kind of where our village locations are.
Yeah.
This is the main one. It's up the river from us, like past a waterfall. We meet here frequently, like as all tribes together, and there's almost always, not almost always, but there's frequently one of the three tribes at this location because it's so like central and like.
The unfortunate thing about that is that you know that those central locations that get orcs there in one place and they meet often, they change often.
Well, I was talking about the city with the red sun in the middle of it, like the big one.
They also don't meet there on a regular basis.
So
Okay, so how, I don't know how to find
Farron's
them.
like,
Right.
whoa. Your people are here. They just left us a care package moments ago. It's like, how do we find them? It's just like I'm a good tracker. Like, I don't know, maybe if you come with me, we can go find them together. They're close by. They're watching us.
They
know
are watching us.
They
I
know
didn't
we're
think about
here,
that.
and you're one of them. So can we just go
you're known
confront
by-
this right now?
And you're known by them, right?
I am.
Yeah. You've made some ventures
I
around
have an idea.
the fringe of the forest, like in your foraging.
They might not realize that I'm one of them because I'm a half orc. I know I look orcish to a lot of you, but orcs can definitely tell I'm not a full orc. What if I go out
You're
into
not
the
a full orc.
forest and do the listening ritual to show them that I belong here, and they might come and talk to me?
So I
gonna
want you to.
Sorry.
We're gonna cut this scene, and I want you to pretend like you kind of hear your characters' voices off in the distance, like from a ways away, and the voice turns to you and says, "They seem to be trustworthy."
Yes, we have observed them long.
When do you think we should make contact? Actual contact.
Actual contact. Well,
And this is as you guys are all still talking.
We should be sneaky and find them.
they have done right, but not just yet. We should observe their next decision.
It's always tricky with the other races.
Do we have what we need from them? A sign?
More
Are they
importantly,
ready?
full trust.
Trust. Well, we have leverage. Do we need trust?
You have said that Romulg trusts at least one of them, but we don't know any of the others.
Ramilk was my mama. My not real mama, but my raised me mama.
Mama,
That's your real mama.
Thank
If
you.
it does not turn out well,
Not biological.
the Kashar will deal with them.
Been very adept at surviving it so far.
Yes,
Maybe you're wrong.
you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, and I'm saying maybe you'll.
We shall see.
Cut back to you two, or cut back to you all. So
firebolts into the sky. That's fine.
Don't do that.
So continue.
So
the
basically, I just
conversation.
threw that out there.
Yeah.
You know, I could go do the listening ritual and see if they come to me.
That sounds pretty safe bet.
But I need you all to promise me you're not going to like leave the confines of this village while I do this because
No,
No, do you want backup?
Have you seen what's out there?
that's my point.
Yeah.
But can you keep an eye on Sparky and everybody? Because
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
will.
stick with you and hang back.
Sparky's still talking with.
are you sure? I'm worried they might not come out if they see an elf. I mean, we don't have really any like bad rapport with the elves, but I personally hadn't met any till I left the forest. So,
Well, you told me that we shouldn't go into the Kashar by ourselves.
well, you shouldn't, but I won't. I'll be fine.
That's what they
Lucy,
say.
listen.
Lucy is stirring the remainder of the soup with this like completely absent face
Mhm.
on her.
You're not going to wander off again, are you, Lucy?
She doesn't answer you.
Make sure she doesn't wander off again, guys. I'll be
She-
back in 5 minutes.
She won't wander off. It'll be fine.
It seems as though she's like in another dimension.
She's already wandered
Uh-huh.
in the mind. Okay, so I go off in the direction that I assume because of behind time, that direction into the forest, and I start doing the listening ritual.
Okay.
The back of time, exactly.
And what do you intend to get out of this particular ritual?
I basically want to say, because I don't know that they know me, right? Like I wasn't privy to that conversation, so I just want to prove to them that like I belong in the Kashar Forest,
Right.
and I'm going to start by being like, I don't know if you're still there, but thank you for your gifts. I'm one of you, and I want to show you that. And so I'm just I'm going to sit and I'm going to listen, and I'm going to see if the Mycelian tell me where these people are. Like I'm going to see if the Mycelian want me to join with my people. That's
Sure.
like in my mind, like religion, how I would do it, you know?
Make an insight check.
Bad insight. 11. Like average.
So you hear 2 heartbeats in the back of your mind, and it reverberates all the way down into your body and kind of roots through your feet as you sort of like are kneeling down on the earth, and you see little tiny like motes of sunlight poking through here and there. You maintain concentration, and you just sort of reach out through the ground and attempt to make contact with those 2 heartbeats. And you know that those 2 heartbeats have to be orcs. Have to be. So after that's all said and done, you do make contact with those 2 heartbeats that are orcs, which tells you that there are 2 orcs probably within about 100-foot diameter.
But I don't know exactly where.
You do not know exactly where. And
Yes.
and I will say that you also don't know whether they mean you harm through this ritual.
Well, this ritual doesn't tell me anything except that it's 2 of them. So that could be wandering like tribe orcs or like one of the actual 3 tribes that are still left. Like I don't know anything about them except that they gave us gifts, which would assume friendship. Like that's what you do to welcome people.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. The ritual was sound, but your concentration was wavering, so you just couldn't get as many details as you want.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I'm going to go back to everybody and be like, I felt them. There's 2 of them, but my mind's too muddled. I can't figure out which direction they're in exactly, but they're within 100 feet diameter of us, and there's definitely 2 of them, and just 2.
You watched the ritual from afar, and pretty impressive for a half-breed. 2,
It's a short tusk. What do we call that?
it's a short tusk.
One tusk,
One tusk.
No, I think for sure.
but listens also with one ear.
2,
Damn.
it
Saucy.
through conversation you can
I like that.
kind of ascertain that this one hasn't been in the Kashar Forest for a little bit, not a huge time, but like a little bit, and so for him not having that like connection, or having not had that connection for a while, impressive.
The voice that was conversing with me, does it have a name?
Rom.
Ram. Oh, of course, yes. At that,
And by the way, you know that Rom is not.
Okay.
I just want to be clear to you
that's right.
that you're talking to a non-orc.
Yes. Rom might not know. At seeing the ritual, sure, I've closed my eyes in order to see if I could feel the ritual.
And right at the end of your ritual, you kind of you were like letting your concentration fade, and suddenly you pick up on one of the heartbeats that's perhaps maybe a little closer than the other, and you feel a well of good intention.
Okay, so when I go back and tell everybody, I'm going to be like, I mean, they give us gifts, but I also feel that they don't mean us harm. Or at least one of them doesn't.
Rom, they listen.
No.
I suppose you are right.
They. Him.
At least. That is something.
No,
a surprise.
No non-orc can be listening. Well,
yes, Rom. I've seen you try.
I'm just sitting there hugging a tree with her ear to it. That's not how this works.
Trying. You're like putting a mushroom next to your ear, like.
Aaron's like, did you do the charcoal salt thing? Okay. Just
However,
checking. You're the expert.
I'm convinced. I'm convinced we should try.
you are the boss. You know I will obey any command.
Shift my mossy cloak a little. Snugger.
Did you just have a similar thought that I just had? You go first.
No. Ferg is just picking your brain, like, how can we, like, okay, so they don't mean us harm, how can we make them feel welcome? Because there's a lot of humans, and orcs and humans, maybe, and they might recognize Lady Julia's cloak.
Yes, that's what I was going to start with. We should definitely make sure that one of us is between her and them if they do appear, because she might just attack them. Secondly,
I will volunteer for
on that note.
How vocal are you being about this?
We're kind of talking off to the side. I think I'm like me and Ferg are having a convo, like a one-on-one, a tete-a-tete.
Okay, I bet that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, we wouldn't not talk to you guys about this, but you're like hugging trees.
Otherwise, Lady July would be like,
no, because she's stirring the soup off in La
All
La
like
Land.
melancholy.
She is definitely off in La La Land. I mean, like you see that distant stare.
Yeah.
That's why I'm afraid she's just gonna like act rashly more than anything.
Yeah, and you actually like pinpoint to it, laced with hopelessness, just completely laced with hopelessness.
It's really sad.
So
well, only because I'm picturing Zed with this like expression, and that makes me really sad.
Right. Daniel's our friend Zed played Lady July in a guest appearance a couple of sessions, so that was fun. So, are you approaching?
Yes, I say to Rom, as you've given them your rations most generously, perhaps we can go and actually join them as they are still enjoying, their evening meals.
That soup smells good.
Or stew.
It does actually.
Michaux, it would be better to watch you.
Fair enough.
We don't want to scare them.
You are.
Don't worry, Rom. But thank you for having my back.
I think
You know that I will.
Farron's just like kind of watching the edge of the forest and eating stew, and maybe Time's hugging a tree, but Farron's
No, Time is hugging a tree next to you. She's really close to you.
You're kind of fading in and out of like your vision that you had a couple of days ago. Was it a day ago or a couple of days ago? I think it was a couple
It was
days
like
ago.
the day before, I think. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It was on the last day of our journey to this place.
And
we haven't slept in the village yet. Or no, I don't know.
And so anyway, you're fading in back from like that to like the actually keeping a watch, eating stew. And you see someone is walking at a very, very normal, even stride towards you, and your vision kind of like coalesces and sharpens, and you're like, well, there's someone coming.
Can I tell that this is like can I tell who or what this is?
It is an orc male. Standing about how tall?
All orcs are tall.
You have to make it up. I didn't believe that.
You're probably taller than me because I'm a half orc and I'm like
Oh,
7'9".
my goodness.
Yeah.
You're on the taller side of the boat.
I'm tall for half orc, but you'd
Yeah.
probably be like
We
8
have
feet.
yeah, maybe, but not much more. We have a low ceiling.
So how tall are you?
8'1".
8'1".
Nice.
8'1". And upon noticing that I'm noticed,
Uh-huh.
I stop for a moment and intentionally break a twig
So Farron
to say,
probably jumps up and kind of hails Keth, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Keth," and then like a second later is like, "Friend, welcome."
I'm gonna come give you like a brother shake, like where you grab each
Yeah.
other's forearm and be like,
"Oh,
Keth, like, you know, and introduce myself.
yes, Keth."
You then find yourself on the ground, pinned down by a half orc with a veil over her face, and it was just like it was like a wind. Like suddenly it was like they weren't there, and
Wow.
you on you.
Burgess,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We don't know.
I know he means us no ill intent. I felt him. He is
And
a friend.
There is just letting you know there is I mean, you've felt strength before, physical strength. This is way beyond what you before, and it's around your throat. But then it starts to lighten,
Wow.
and then she does this again. There's a veil over her face, so you can't really see her mouth, but you can see the eyes, and kind of like white circles kind of around the eyes, and they back off, and they even bow a little bit.
Wow.
Apology.
I help you up.
Can Farron talk, just kind of sidebar with Burgess and say,
Thank you, but I'm impressed.
we've all
She's strong, isn't
we've all
she?
eaten.
She is.
Have you eaten?
I wonder.
We watched her lift a freaking beam off of
no
somebody. It
words.
was insane.
I'm
She
scared
just walks
and
off.
aroused.
Yeah.
Yes, well,
She hasn't eaten.
And so with no words, Burgess just walks out into the forest.
where did you find
And
her?
Sparky's just like, and you look over Sparky, he goes,
In an airship. It's a long story, but she's a
Still eating stew,
beautiful
though.
musician.
Yeah.
Just like dropping.
We could use
full.
her in the Kashar.
Like,
Really?
she's all right.
Is she all right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that
was
She wasn't
She's
free
intense,
before she
but-
met us.
quite the greeting.
she's saved some of our party.
the next thing you notice a human woman standing over by the stew pot. A small stew pot, so it's not covering like a lot of her body. And you see that that you've been outside of the Kashar many times and actually been to a few cultures here and there, including Fallenstein, and you see a woman that is dressed in the regalia of one of the noble houses of Fallenstein, and also it's dirty and it's unkempt, but the dress would indicate that he is a life steward. Essentially, in this world, a life cleric, which we're kind of saying is the antithesis of a necromancer.
As soon as Ferg sees you looking, Ferg stands up and is like, "Hi, I'm Ferg." But Ferg's also like 3 feet shorter than you.
But I would say also, like, why don't you describe yourself? Just
Yeah, it takes time to
Daniel's
assess
sake.
everyone at close up.
Ferg is 5.5 feet tall, always wearing like black leather that is clean-ish. We've been in the forest and like crashed, so it's maybe on the more ish side of clean.
Ish side of clean.
Not carrying any visible weapons, but you can see like tattoos creeping out of their clothing at like neckline and wrists. Pretty nondescript, like brown hair, average face.
Right.
But also,
Are you carrying your weapon?
no,
Okay.
we're not that dumb. This person is giant,
Yeah.
but we're also fairly strong when we're like, hey, we're Ferg.
Yeah. The handshake gives a great strength. away.
Excellent. Well, I would I have to respond just to let you know.
Squeeze back.
Yeah, Ferg's cool with that.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah. Welcome.
Welcome.
We're not enjoying this forest.
Travelers, yes. I have come specifically to
Keth
welcome,
ladles you some soup and
welcome
hands it
you
while you're talking.
to the Kashar. It is my home, and it is now perhaps your new forever home.
I'm Kelly. I'm Kelly,
Dislike.
and a robed figure, kind of almost the robe seems almost uniform-esque.
Kelly.
Sorry, my phone's in my teeth. What's your name?
Michaux. I am known as Michaux of Moonjaw, keeper of the secrets of the Red Sun.
Farron was very trying to contain. It's like very trying to keep it real cool. And
Is this a Rockstar moment for you?
a little bit, but approaches and is like, "It's so nice to meet you. Named Farron. I've been exploring for years and never had the pleasure of being in the Kashar, and I'm just overwhelmed by the sights I've already seen, and so happy to be here.
It is a wonderful place.
It is. There's
To
a lot.
live.
There's a lot to learn.
Worth protecting.
By the way, in the back of your mind, you never thought you'd hear a non-orc say those words.
Yeah.
Because also in the back
Well,
of your mind,
of
you know that
course.
they're trapped and they're never leaving.
I know that too. The history, though. I mean,
We'll get out.
between peoples, yes. It is well that you like it here. It is hard to leave.
So we've heard.
Ferg's like, yeah, we want to learn about it and learn to listen, but maybe also get home.
Mm-hmm.
Time walks over to you, and you kind of see her moving through the forest as if there are more ferns and fallen trees in her way that there actually are. She's moving around things that are not there, and comes up to you and also shakes your hand. She says, "I'm glad you were in the I'm glad we're in the timeline where you decided not to attack us."
Yes, we are in the right time and place, I suppose.
And then she walks off.
I'm going to turn to you and say, if the Mycelian wills it, we will get free of this place.
Sweet. You're still going to teach me how to listen, right?
I'm going to try. You have to be open to it.
We're open.
Do you?
Farron's like, I'm open.
I'm so here for it.
Do you require
My body's ready.
assistance?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
We've been experiencing some interesting things. I think Farron can explain it better than anybody else.
Mm-hmm. I've been in deep communication several times now with a force. I can't. It's difficult to know how to explain it, but essentially, it's like
Drugs, Lucy says. And then,
It's not drugs, Lucy. Sit down and eat your dinner.
you said they weren't poisonous either. Just saying.
There's a people, the Cantarelli tribe. I don't know if you've heard of them or know them, but they've been in communication with us through me specifically, and they need our help. And we're trying to learn. We're trying to find any start we can to help
We think it has something to do with the Mycelian, but none of us have ever heard of the Cantarelli tribe. He's well read. I lived here forever. I don't fucking know what that is, and he knows everything about mushrooms.
I mean, they're
I know a little bit.
chanterelles. They're tasty.
Yeah, I know that.
One can't know everything about it.
You can make a knowledge nature if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Oh, damn.
Killing
Was that your first roll?
It is. Damn. That would be 19 on the proficiency bonus.
So it'd be wisdom plus proficiency.
Oh, wisdom. Okay, yeah, 21.
21. So what? First of all, they're butchering the pronunciation. It's
yeah.
Cantharella. Second,
You gotta explain it to us.
I just want to say,
I'm only half an
White
orc.
people.
I can't get everything right.
It's easier the more rum you drink.
second of all,
Do I text
root
her,
rum.
Ron?
Second of all, the Cantharella tribe is not just chanterelles. There are actually a lot of different types of mushrooms inside of this genus that range from like bald mushrooms, ugly-ish mushroom, very scarred-looking mushrooms, even to having like hair-like fungi manes. They're actually quite vast in their looks and feels and textures and whatnot. So that's the first thing that you notice is that they just specifically mentioned the chanterelles.
Yeah, I think I have an inkling.
And the fact that they had like a mystical experience with the chanterelles, that's unheard of. Like never happened before, unheard of. 0% have ever happened.
Do you know what the spiral becoming a disc means?
I don't understand the language.
I don't know. That's what the chanterelle was telling us. Was telling Farron.
The Cantharella.
Cantharella. I can say things.
Cantharellas.
We're supposed to find the heart.
What do you know about the Cantharellas?
The Cantharellas. The Cantharellas comprise a vast and diverse family. I think this alludes to something deeper, and perhaps the reason I have come to you. I'm ashamed to say I require your assistance as well. I, in fact, require the assistance of folk that are worthy of the cause.
Are the Moonjaw in trouble?
We are all in trouble. The Kashar is in trouble.
I agree. What it said to me. It was the Kashar.
Has the Kashar been speaking to you of this?
Yes.
What's the name again? The chanterelle?
I feel.
Cantharella.
The Cantharella said that the heart is in danger.
You just want to say Cinderella. That's
I know, I did so bad.
Cantarelli.
Every time. I already forgot it again.
Connor hates me now.
No, I'm just thinking of this like horrible Cantharelli Fergalicious mashup video.
Yes.
We're doing it.
All right.
Okay, Rowan, we're doing this.
Are we gonna add that into our critical misfits calendar pose? Like we just do our swag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tangent.
So you know, what it sounds like while you do believe that the Kashar has been speaking to you, you are an adept listener. It sounds like for whatever reason, the Kashar has more directly with actual like language spoken to this group, and that you can't understand nor suss out exactly why.
I do.
Oh, you do?
The orcs have failed.
Are you saying this out loud?
No, I think he's.
No, that.
Oh, see, are you saying that out loud?
I might say that. I might say that out loud. I might.
So, but I mean, stick
not
with,
yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
stick with the I guess the question. So that's kind of what I'm just bringing to your attention is that their communication and your communication have
Different.
It has been very different. Yeah, the experiences.
Mm-hmm.
The myceliid actually pulled our ship into the forest, and I think after everything that's kind of been happening, that this reaching out to Farron, why they reached out to Farron, might be why we got pulled into the forest in the first place. Like, yes, we did indirectly cause that crash, Sparky. No shade, but for real,
Lots of shade.
lots of shade. But it wasn't entirely her fault that we crashed at the rate we did or the destruction level that happened. Like, it wouldn't have been as bad if we hadn't been sucked down, right? So, like, it wanted us here as fast as possible.
Time is over, kind of like, you know, doing her thing where she's like looking around and kind of like ADD, and she's like, it often takes many threads to weave the tapestry.
Yeah, I like that.
Ferg is just
and
like,
really audibly,
yeah,
Lucy
no
goes,
shit.
"This is great soup." Just like
Yeah.
crazy bitch.
Needs more salt.
Yeah.
I go and, like, sprinkle some salt in yours. Yeah.
So also, Daniel, Michaux, when they mentioned the heart, the first thing that you thought of is Cragsed. your capital.
Mm.
And you know that Cragsd is Cragsd is like it's a very sacred place, and at the same time, there aren't many orcs living there. So, in essence, it's sort of a figurehead capital. It's the only city within the Kashar that actually shows itself out of the top of the forest.
Mm.
It actually pokes itself out of the Kashar Forest.
Like if you flew over it, you'd see it.
Yeah, if you flew over it, you'd see it. And Fallenstein's ships have seen it many times, but they
can't land.
They can't land or access it without being trapped. So, you know that it is.
It's a giant middle finger of the Kashar rising up.
There's a giant red sun in the middle of it too, like emblazoned.
Oh,
And
so it's certainly like the heart of orcdom.
Yes.
It's that little like
Not
cliff
necessarily
in the, forest,
the heart of the forest, or would it be?
So here's the map.
Crags
is right there.
It's very much
What's your name again?
heartish.
Michaux.
Michaux.
Michaux. So Farron is like, Michaux, like, how is the Kashar in danger?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. There
What
is-
leads you to believe that it might be?
I feel it. Force. Something. Closing in, gnawing at the roots.
I feel like it forced from multiple sides. What we've been told.
Actually, yeah.
All sides. Closing in like a darkness.
Mm.
That's what we've been told. Shown.
Something is devouring the mycelium, the forest, the depths, the orcs. Are the mycognomes okay?
The vitality.
Sage doesn't know.
The vitality of the forest is under threat.
Mm.
As this thing encroaches.
Do you know anything about a spiral or a disc?
Spiral or disc. I connect those things now.
Mm.
All we know is
No.
that if the spiral was a disc, it would leave the Chantrell room to be who they are. That's what they told Farron.
Is there anything that's encroaching on the forest? Anything, any threat?
Bird coughs and looks
That-
at Lady
You know,
July.
the only threat that you know is Zalgun. That's the only threat that you know of. But they'd have to talk to Rommel about that. It's as far as you know, the orcs had that under control.
Indeed. Well, my place is in the Kashar, and there are many of us who work to prevent spread of this thing that encroaches, and we are attempting to understand it so that we may combat it. But as I said, my place is here, and so to speak, cannot see the forest for
This-
the trees.
This thing you're talking about is
You, as outsiders, perhaps, may have a different perspective.
Time suddenly shows up at your side. She's like, I like understanding things. Tell us more about this. She's like, all of her focus is on you right now. It's a little disturbing.
Yes, well, I know there are many who do not feel as I do. They are complacent. Therefore, it is upon myself and some few others to see what we can do, for they will not listen. But we listen. You listen.
Many times I do feel that the passive penance is too inactive in our people, and they've grown quite unable to
Penance, yes.
take things for themselves.
So a little bit of orcish history. So actually, I think I told you this last night. The first act of penance. That's when the chieftains' wives came into their tents and slit their chiefs' throats in order to prevent like all-out extinction.
I just meant like the penitent living in general.
That's fair.
Like they're
Yeah.
just like wandering around being like very simple living, like trying to like
It's a very loaded word, though, at the same
Yeah.
time. Like,
yeah, definitely.
That's
Like
fine.
it's got
There's
And then you hear and an arrow sticks at your feet, a safe distance away, but at your feet nonetheless. And
That's for me.
Sorry, guys. I got a text.
Ye old text.
I'll withdraw the arrow and
Yeah, there's a little bit of chite paper that's wrapped around it. You unfurl it,
I'm
and it says, "The CK approaches. We should be on the move."
The central kitchen?
And you know the CK stands for quarter kraken.
there are forces this forest that are not as friendly as I. We would do best to stay ahead of them. We should move.
Are you talking about the quarter kraken?
We wrestled it before. Well, we ran away from it before.
Yes.
We ran away from it.
It ate our
before.
airship and we ran away from it.
You
twice.
know of it then.
Yeah. How close is it, and how fast do we need to go?
Too close.
Okay.
Gather our things and head out.
Okay. People begin to mobilize.
You have a place we could rest nearby. That is safe.
Many safe places.
Burgess comes back minutes later, and she still has her veil down, but you can tell she's sort of like wiping her mouth underneath her veil. And she says, "I'm ready. How can I help?"
Farron salvages the arrow that went up your foot. Just saying.
Nice.
Do I recognize it? Who?
Recycling.
Like, the fletching. Is it
Oh, yeah, it's your
one of my-
people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Figured.
Okay, I'm basically gonna ask Burgess to, watch her back as we try to make our because I feel like she'll be okay, can avoid the quarter kraken. I don't know. I've seen her do some crazy shit so far.
Yeah.
Farron's like, "You good, Burgess?"
Where are we going?
Well, you are of the Moonjaws. However, the closest active orc town is the Black Fangs. They are all the way at the end of the river, away from Christ. That's where they are currently. So that's probably the best.
That's where they're currently at in their migrating pattern. Because he would know. Yeah.
Is it very, very far?
It is about 4 days away.
What'd you call him?
Yeah,
Black
because
what?
I was thinking
Black Fangs. That's the tribe I grew up with.
I was thinking the big tree until the danger passed, and then we might continue.
Oh no, the danger won't pass. So the quarter kraken is it's essentially some kind of a mutated underground, massive, shambling, viney creature that is about the size of a whale. Nobody really knows how it burrows through the earth so effortlessly and without seismic activity.
We should just kill him.
But it has a way of tracking down things.
What if it
I
has?
thought you value all life, Kat.
Kat
No,
didn't
it
say
says
that.
RIP.
Ashleen said that. Ashleen wants Kat to hit level 3. Kat doesn't want to kill anything, though.
Get that XP.
Yeah.
Bird wants to burn it with fire.
I also would like to.
Yeah. As we move along some unseen trail, I suppose I might inform you about it as much as I know, since your lives
Please
depend on it. Perhaps. Yeah. Would Brahm join us?
No.
Fall back in?
None of your
No.
people join you directly.
Great.
Although you have
Wow.
you have no doubt that they're following you.
They better.
And this is kind of the first time that you
I paid through the week.
Yeah.
remember. Oh wow, you heard 2 orc heartbeats, and yet you only met Michaux.
I just assumed they were being cautious. I feel like Kat.
Okay.
He told everyone there was 2 of them. We only see one. Everyone's aware that, to an extent that he's not the only person out there.
Right.
So
I always assume.
in the forest,
So
definitely.
I want, we could please Shanna, Will, Connor, and Daniel. So everyone bash Ashleen to roll a d20, and I'm going to go in order from Shanna all the way around to Daniel.
To see all the bad things that's about to happen to Kat.
What did you get?
18.
What'd you get?
14.
What did you get?
19.
No. 3.
Dun dun dun.
But it's opposite.
So it is on. You have been traveling for 3 days, and these 3 days have been uneventful. For a couple of things that you notice inside of that 3 days. The second day, I'd like everyone to make perception checks.
Can June make it at advantage? Based on sight?
No, not this time.
Hell no, I didn't perceive
17.
shit.
17.
5?
20.
Oh.
Total,
16.
but still.
So who got the 20? Yep. So, Captain Time. Oh, man, this is interesting. I actually secretly love when you make perception checks. I really get to fuck with things.
I not so secretly love when I make perception checks and you fuck with me. So
You smell smoke. And then the lights dim. And then there's this fantastic light.
cool.
Yeah, it follows no particular rhythm.
Oh, okay.
And it feels like if you've ever been in the Midwest or the Southeast during the summer when there's fireflies about, that's kind of what it reminds you of. Is it's just these like little tiny motes of light that go in and out and on and off, all around you, and then you're essentially left with your shoulder being shook, and you look to your left, and Kelly says, "You okay?"
Kelly.
And
I should have killed her, not Bush.
but here's the thing, though.
Harsh my buzz, Kelly.
You now do not smell smoke.
Are the lights still there though?
No.
Okay. I smelled fire. Not.
Like a cook fire?
I will smell fire. I did smell fire.
God damn it, Tyler.
There was fire.
Time. Like a cook fire?
There. Don't know.
Did it smell like food at all? Or did it just smell like...
I don't understand this one.
It smelled like smoke fire,
None
like
of us
wood
do.
burning fire.
She lives
Just wood fire and lights. Are
She
there
lives sideways from us.
are there things that are like lightning bugs in this world?
I mean, sure, but none that
bioluminescent
either of you
floaty,
are aware of in the
mushrooms.
Kashar Forest.
I've never seen
Understand.
that.
I saw lights.
Both of you can make knowledge nature checks.
Yeah. The lights.
Can I just let him make it an advantage?
No, it would have to be separate.
Damn it.
Ooh, they'll at least flash.
17.
With lights
Oh.
Did we both roll a 13?
Yeah, we
Okay,
did.
okay, still kidding.
I have +0 to nature. So.
Wow.
I know.
17?
No, you've never heard of that. Strange.
Yeah, mine
Not
was
in
less,
my
so I
woods.
didn't hear
But
it.
hey, it's a big forest.
Yeah.
Did
New
any of
things
us
enter
with
all the
a
time.
Very respectful 17 see anything?
And
No.
stay.
No.
Not respectable enough.
It's, time was the only one that actually saw you, or not saw, or saw ahead of time. You don't even know.
Yeah.
But something clearly happened in her frame of mind.
Something.
It is,
happened.
was, or will. Or is as
Yeah.
well. Did in this vision did I see like was there any level of like direction I could sense from like smelling smoke, wind, anything along those lines that might act as a bit of a guide? Like, I smelled like because I figured I was still in this location,
Mhm.
but I was sensing some other time or reality. But like, did I get a sense of where the smoke was coming from, or some like
You thought that it was coming from that way, which is basically I'm looking at the river. It's basically
Is it downstream?
northwest of the river. And at the same time, it's no longer happening.
Yeah. She kind of looks to you. She's like, "Is there something over there? That way?"
Is that not where the...
I mean, nothing that you, nothing that
We
would.
the smoke.
That is
smoke
not
is,
where we were going.
the smoke is coming from that way. Should investigate.
A couple of things.
I think straying from the river at this point isn't.
Fire bad.
The
lights were really interesting.
When was the fire? So
We should. I think it may be interesting.
I mean,
Often these visions mean something to me.
true.
are we well enough out of danger? Like we could take a detour. And...
Actually, are we days out from where we were before? You said, or
3
it could
days.
be-
3 days.
You are now 2 days out from where.
But I mean, like, but like where we were
Oh, I see.
before, we've already had one day.
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted-
Not 3 days in, but 3 days out.
And you also know that you guys have been, you all have been moving at quite the clip. Not necessarily a forced march, but you certainly haven't been dilly-dallying. You feel that
I only
the
dilly-dally.
quarter cracking, like tracking you at this point would
because you're not a
probably
slave to
not
time.
be the case. It would probably
Never.
be
Never.
way behind. So yeah, you would have a little.
Cat's
I
down.
finally got rid of that headache.
Perhaps
I'm down to take you.
we could
Go.
show you a bit more of the forest. And
Aaron's
if you really
down.
want, if you really wish.
But you need
Especially
to
if,
focus time. You need to help us find the direction you want to go.
that way.
Especially if Michaux's down.
Huh.
Farron's like, yeah.
So as you
I've
get
been a while.
As you get a move on to the northwest,
Yeah.
you travel about an hour, and you don't necessarily see anything out of the ordinary. You travel another hour. The only thing that you saw in this vein, which what happened kind of on the other side of a small body of water, which was probably the only thing that kept you remotely safe, which would have been a grizzly bear. And the thing that started to make your heart pound is because you saw the grizzlies with young, and that's not good.
Territorial.
They're territorial and they're fucking beasts.
Mama bears are scary.
Get back away.
But you know, to quote a friend of mine in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, one of my mom's friends, is that if you're ever confronted by an angry grizzly and you're in a group, everybody run different directions.
One of you's gonna die, but
Yep.
not all of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yup.
Because if you run the same direction, you're all gonna.
It's like zombie logic, you know. You just gotta run faster than the guy next to you,
Yeah.
and you're good.
Gosh.
That's the thing. That you're
That's
probably
why rule
you're
number
probably
one
not
is
gonna outrun
cardio.
A grizzly bear.
No.
So.
Not with that attitude.
And yeah. no.
If the grizzly picked me, I would just want my last words to be
You have to
avenge
pick
me.
Good.
your spells. So the only ones that you automatically get are the ones under second level.
Ah,
Yeah.
right.
But otherwise, and then
Do we meet
the
a
cantrips
grizzly?
are already
Is
laid
that
I
out.
ought to do
you
that
said?
just in case.
But yeah,
What's
but it was
that,
on the
what?
other side.
JIC. Do you want a book?
Just in case.
What are you, by the way? Can I ask that? Is that too metagaming?
Actually, I'll just say that you identify Michaux as a druid.
A druid, cool. Like what class are you? That's what I meant. What
Orc
are
in
you?
the forest. What even are you?
Orc in the forest.
Okay, so where were we? So
You
You would know
you're,
it. We have a word. The orcs have a word for it, and I use that word.
Yeah, whatever the word for druid is.
Yeah.
Probably something with a K in it. Orcs got a lot of K words.
Kasha.
Oh my god, yes. Orc druids are Kesha. I'm so down.
Kesha.
There is a dollar sign in it.
Yes.
Which the dollar sign means nature.
Fisher says it's Skrillex.
I already won, Fisher.
So, okay, you travel north, like northwest, you know, and you see evidence of fire, of burning.
Like bad?
What's that?
Like bad? Like
Well,
the forest burn?
A lot of the forest is sort of like moist enough to the point where it's not going to like catch into a blaze. And you're not in a dry period right now in terms of like the season. But you do see a lot of the undergrowth, and you see a lot of a certain particular kind of a weird, gnarly looking tree scorched to all hell.
Like somebody tried to burn that tree.
Yes, and a few trees that are like it around that area.
Do they look different than the other trees around them?
Yes.
Can I roll to see what's up with the trees?
You can.
Can I roll
knowledge nature?
So
Fuck, I suck at nature. Is anyone else good at nature? Hey guys, look at them weird trees. Someone tried to burn them.
Berg's good at weird
Yes, of
things.
course.
I mean,
It's
I
instinctive.
can assist you.
Weirdly, I can communicate
15.
with plants, but I have a
what is it?
-2 on nature.
Oh, hell yeah. 18?
15,
I'm a
18?
feeler,
22 to
not
all
a
told.
thinker.
So both of
getting
you
from Berg.
begin to like you reference something out of I don't know, something you read a while ago. That sparks something from Michaux. Michaux starts to think about a specific type of tree, and then you name it firefly tree. And this tree
I was talking about this. See,
this tree cannot germinate unless it is actually the germination process is caused by fire.
Oh, that's like lodgeball.
So
Is it like an invasive species type thing though? Like, is it supposed to be here?
it is supposed to be here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Everything as well.
Is there smoldering happening?
There is a little smoldering happening, but nothing that would cause either of you or you alarm.
You have a good nose, Time.
Fisher would like
Curious.
to point out, by the way, that the firefly trees only last for 1 season.
Why would you
Damn it.
Rude.
Too soon.
Hey, be the
still.
leaf, man.
Too soon.
Let's just go right for it.
So sorry, I missed that last piece of it. So did this fire happen, like, can we tell, relatively recently, or has it been, like...
Relative, like I said, it's still a little bit smoldering.
Oh, wow.
Does it look like it
Slight
was
smolder, but we're not
set,
worried.
or was it a lightning strike?
Good question. Make a perception check. All right, I'll take investigation too.
I was going to say, could I make a nature check, but
No, it would have to be one or the other of those.
you said perception or
Or
investigation?
investigation, yeah.
Okay. Perception it is. Oh, 11.
That eraser totally dice blocked you.
Yeah.
You know, you're not sure.
Uh,
You're convinced that it could have been either.
Not-
Farron walks up to the trees, puts his hands on them, and takes a big whiff, and also makes a perception check.
They're
Okay.
really hot. Don't put your hands
Licks
on
it.
10.
Yeah, again, you feel like Ferg's right. It could have been either.
Ferg, you're right. It could have been either.
Really?
Time, like, says,
Really?
give me a little bit.
Hey, Ferg,
she goes about
I
the
agree.
detect magic ritual.
Could have been
so
either.
it's like 10 minutes. Like, and she's gonna use that to kind of like
I'm just
scan the
being a
area,
total.
look at these trees, and like use that as sort of like her element of perception. She's not really looking for like how the fires were set, just kind of like feeling the magical connection and seeing the forest, like why I was drawn here, looking for that element.
Okay. So, while there's nothing magical about this tree, there is an interesting mystical admixture happening between the tree in its germination process now and this weird, flat, and practically invisible fungi that surrounds its root structure down below. And so that's the only thing that's like that's picking up on your detect magic scope is that
Like I'm kind of looking into that magic like
that
site that I was talking about.
that eldritch admixture is popping up, but what it can do, what the properties are, you have no idea.
Interesting. Of this mixture. It's interesting.
Yeah. In other words, you've never seen this kind of a
Fungus.
mixture before.
Yeah.
A magical mixture.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a little bit outside your purview.
Yeah, interesting. So time kind of like you see her like moving around and kind of like looking and she walks up and kind of like brushes aside some of the like the moss and ferns that are growing around this and calls up like Michaux, like, you know what this is? It is very strongly like this odd level of magic that I've never seen before. Interacting between the tree and the fungus.
You roll knowledge nature.
Yeah. I really want to say.
And
Yes.
can I aid this in any way from like my like bringing it down, kind of talking about like at least from like the more intellectual side of it, but not
So,
knowing.
Sure.
specifics to it.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an advantage.
Yeah, baby.
Great.
Got you.
That's why you guys aren't
don't
like,
fail.
hey, you're supposed to live here. How come you don't even know this?
Oh,
Natural.
Natural 20.
Plus what?
You're like,
Bunch.
natural 1.
Plus 2.
4.
Yeah.
That's nature, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 24.
Yeah, 24.
sweet
Okay,
deal.
two.
So
I like helping.
this. There's some very high-powered druidic magic that actually kind of originates from the Kashar Forest that uses the mycelium to travel from one point in the forest to another point in the forest. Now, you know that this is not one of those nodes.
Psych.
Is node the right word? I'm not even sure, but
Yeah,
this
sure.
isn't
node.
this isn't the right. This isn't exactly what that is, but this is the like one of the ingredients of that. And you know that these are in small pockets all over the Kashar Forest. And druids very carefully harvest these in small doses because it's one of those things where, I mean, quite frankly, time shouldn't even have lost like back because it thrives in a warm and dark, climate, the fungi. But yeah, you think that harvesting these in small little clumps so as to not like wipe them out and extinct is what some druids do to create those high-powered transportation nodes. And teleportation in this world is very rare. This is actually like it's one of the only ways in which someone in this world can travel from one point to the next.
Yeah.
We'll definitely make a note of this spot. Perhaps it would be wise to harvest some.
What happens? Would he know what happens if somebody were to eat one, like eat some of this fungi?
Oh, highly poisonous.
Well, good to know. I'm
Farron's
just
definitely harvesting some of this.
Sparky's in the corner. Whoa.
Yes.
Well, okay. So you're wise enough to know that it
No,
is-
I'm
it is
gonna-
hold on a second. It's in the germination process.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, harvesting it now would actually do nothing. It would be useless. You have to actually wait until it's like fully gone through the process, which would be about 3 to 5 days. You
Okay.
could come back, easily grab it, but that's
So
yeah.
I just take note of like where the planets are in the sky.
Difficult because the canopy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything that I can do to like
It shifts.
note like where I am in terms of like using
The river.
my
Tracking-
ranger abilities?
Yeah, tracking where you've been, marking it with chalk. You've got a
Okay.
little chalk on you,
Mhm.
but ultimately you can see when there is a full moon. You can see that poking through the canopy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sort of like the night sun almost.
Mhm.
But in terms of like stars, it's hard to track
Yeah.
for that. Now I'm going to go back to Ashley. Now, what were you going to say?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it would be culturally insensitive for him to do it. I was gonna compel him to do it because cinephile.
I mean,
But-
totally fair, but it's more along the lines of
No,
like,
it's not
potency
ready
versus
yet.
not
No,
potency.
I got you.
And I think that this is a good time to take a break. We're going to take a little
Fuck you.
little commercial break. We'll be right back.
Time out.
Amusing.
Yeah, commercial break.
Time out. That's good. That's
yeah.
good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
Basically, the mushroom walk thing is a spell forest walk.